All right, everyone. I kind of want to talk about the animated series that I wanted to make. Now, this year has been like kind of years in the making, I feel. Ever since I was like back in, was it middle school, I used to have a comic book series where I would place myself in the adventures. Well, I'll place myself in a world and do adventures with like other different types of anime characters. Like there would be like a comic where I'll be doing like Dragon Ball Z stuff or like Tomb Raider stuff. Just a bunch of different stuff. Basically, my character, the animated version of myself that I made, interacts with the anime world. Like every character from any anime, any game, any type of anything exists in this world. I got that concept because I really wanted to bring the animated world, the game world, and all this other stuff together. Since everybody on Earth who comes up with these ideas, we all live in the same world. So I was like, what would it be like if all of these characters lived in the exact same world? Like, how crazy would that be? So that's kind of basically what this is. But the main reason of me doing this is I really wanted to like interact with like the favorite Pokemon that I had, and they all have like personalities and voices and whatnot. So basically, I play myself in this, and it's really cool because I have like powers and stuff, and I have some of my own created characters in here as well that interact with the other characters. Because this is all stuff I just plan on doing for fun, and these little episodes here are going to be like 4 to 6 minutes long. It really depends on what I'm trying to do with the episode. They might be longer, they might be shorter. I really don't know. But I really want to just work on the first episode of it. Gotta write the script for it though. But I don't really know what I want to call the show. Like I didn't really have a name that I really wanted to call it back then. It was kind of like just is, just did it because I kind of wanted to, just like escape the real world. But basically, the character that I play in this is well myself. I have a character for a game that I was going to be working on. His name is Ken Lee Masaki. He is a anthropomorphic fox, and basically his backstory was he goes to collect the seven crystals. These are kind of like similar to the Chaos Emeralds, and they give him superpowers that he doesn't know about. But each emerald has its own property that it can do. Like one has the ability to heal and all of this stuff. But when you get like the powers and whatnot, you're given one unique ability that you can do related to that. Like, for instance, one of the crystals has an ability to heal, so you might be given that ability to heal, and it's only that one ability that you get. It like chooses it like based on your person type, but all the crystals have different stuff. But when you get all seven of them together, it gives you a permanent super form. So it's not like the Chaos Emeralds where you have to have ring energy to maintain your super form. This is just permanent. You can do it whenever you want to. And that was kind of the one aspect that I did like of super forms. Like Dragon Ball Z introduced me to that. I was like, it would be cool if I had a super form. So, all of that happened. Basically, he is the smart one. He built pretty much everything that you're going to see us using in this here. The technology, and I swear I did not get any of this from like Iron Man or anything like that. Like I didn't know anything about that when I was like thinking of this. But basically, we all live in a mansion, like with the technology and everything else. He's written an artificial intelligence, like a human artificial intelligence. Like it can feel, it can think, it knows right and wrong. If you place it in a situation, it'll know what to do. And his father was the one who actually built all of that stuff, left the blueprints. But like his father is so smart that he can just remember everything. But he like wrote out half the blueprints and did all that other stuff. So he's basically working with the technology that his dad had. He's kind of finishing what his dad kind of left off. His father has faith in Ken to be able to finish this stuff. Um, his wife, her name is Zora. Her last name is Rose, but obviously that's going to change since husband wife thing. She is the I guess the more mature character because for this series here, everybody in here is going to be goofy, especially all the boys. The girls are going to be like super serious, responsible and stuff like that. The boys, no, we're not going to be any of that. This is to be completely stupid. But she is not as smart as Ken, but she has some decent like accolades under her belt. She has some very impressive accomplishments, I should say. I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm working on his story right now. This here is actually for a game that I want to make for the PlayStation 2. So yeah, you guys actually kind of know like how old this is. We got the PlayStation 4 now, so I got more stuff to play with. But I do want to make a game based on Ken, just so you can see how his thing is going on. His backstory is pretty deep as well. But the other characters, I have a Zangoose. His name is Genus. He has an IQ of over 300. He is a smartass. He loves to drink and do drugs. He is also extremely vulgar. Why I chose this to be his personality type, I don't know. I think it fits him, and it's gonna be funny at the same time. Like I'm really going for like Family Guy humor here, and maybe like American Dad humor. But Genius, he is a very gentle guy, even though he's an asshole. Talon, she is my Pidgeot. She also plays that serious, responsible role that I'm having all the females on screen play here. She, in her like normal form, she's actually about 7 feet, like 8 inches tall. So she's bigger than your normal Pidgeot. She's also more powerful than your normal Pidgeot. Um, Her and Genus, or as a matter of fact, all the Pokemon I have, they have the ability to talk. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff there. Um, Really not much to say about her. When she does a Mega Evolve, though, she does get way bigger. I mean, I can say that. She's like 12, 13 feet tall when she Mega Evolves. So she's huge. And I kind of want it to be like that because, I mean, you really can't have a bird that you ride around be smaller. Like me, I'm roughly 6 feet tall. So I obviously need to have Pidgeot bigger than me if I actually want to ride it around. Now, we're not going to actually be riding it around all the time because we actually happen to belong to a organization that I call the X organization. They are a military organization that has technology 200 years more advanced than that of the rest of the world. So we have these jets that I call the Phoenix, and I fly the jet Phoenix 3, hence the name I chose here. Ken flies Phoenix 1, Zora flies Phoenix 2, Genus flies Phoenix 4. Talon, she just flies along with us whenever we have missions that we have to go on. The show does have its serious time, and whenever we're like on missions and stuff like that, like we don't do anything completely goofy. Like I also plan on making like a movie series for this as well to do other stuff with other characters where we're completely serious the entire time. We won't have the same jokes or anything, so there'll be a completely change in tone. But just for like this animated series here, this little small thing, the little 6 minute shorts and whatnot, it's going to be completely stupid. Like we might be doing things like flying to other planets or pulling up to a McDonald's in our jets. Just stuff like that. But basically, the jets they can fly themselves if they want to because they all have the AI that we use to stay in contact with them. I also have a Vaporeon. Her name is Tsukiyomi, and again, she kind of plays that serious role that all the other females do. Really not sure how like her personality is because as far as like missions go, we're all not going to be able to do anything like together for the most part. Like my Vaporeon, she can fly. I probably should say this because Genus and Talon, they have super forms. Tsukuyomi has a super form as well. So because of that, they can all fly and do different things that, you know, a normal Zangoose, Pidgeot, or Vaporeon can't do. Now, I have three other Pokemon as well. I have a Articuno, like her name is Frost. I have a Zapdos, her name is Storm, and I have a Moltres, and her name is Fira. They're they're young. They're like 8 years old or something like that, 8 or 9. They're really young, so they're still like kids for the most part. Basically, their story is Articuno's kind of like the leader, or Frost is the leader of them three. Fira, she kind of just like does whatever. She does, I don't know, like the three of them together, they kind of play like comic relief for the most part, but they don't ever get like abused or anything like that. Storm, she like kind of plays the Meg role. Like we just don't abuse her or anything, but most of the jokes that we do in here, like we'll target Storm more than they do Frost or Fira. And I think it's more funny than that. Because like when people see like a Zapdos, they think it's like all big and mean and stuff like that. But in reality, Zapdos isn't that big or scary. They're really small, and I think that's adorable. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have Storm play like the Meg role, where if there are jokes, like they'll be targeting her for the most part. Like there might be an episode like where she wakes up in the stove or something like that. This is gonna be completely goofy stuff like that. All three of them, they're normally together all the time, and they do have roles in the X organization, though they're in the training class. And this is basically just to let them find out who it is, like who it is that they are. So when they actually get old enough to start working in the X organization and get their own missions, they can kind of place certain things. But with those characters, they look up to Talon as like mom for the most part. Let me see. What else did I kind of wanted to say? I mean, I guess I really don't know what else to say here. I mean, we are pretty much a dysfunctional team. I mean, that's probably the best way I can describe it. I know my brother said he wanted to do some stuff here because we were like talking about it. Like I was actually making a movie of this here. The movie was what had something to do with somebody trying to take over the world. I don't remember. I didn't write a script for that movie. I just jumped in Flash and started animating it. So it was everywhere. I mean, we had Sonic characters and Naruto characters and like Dragon Ball Z. Like this thing was just going everywhere. But then my hard drive failed and I lost everything. So I was like really depressed. But now I'm gonna take things a little bit easier. But my brother, he says if he's gonna be in here, he wants to have his like Naruto powers because he like wants the Sharingan and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I can do that. I mean, I'm gonna have my super forms, and he wants to have his Naruto powers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that's pretty much all of it there. You know, Unfortunately, I can't get this to record Word, so you really can't see what it is that I have. Because if I type something, it doesn't go in. It's just it seems like OBS doesn't record Word well, but that's all it's showing right there. It's not like I have much done anyway, like other than this. But I'm gonna write the script to see how it wants to happen. This episode here is probably just going to like feature all the characters, just so you can kind of see how their personalities are and stuff like that. Like there's still some designs I gotta finish. Like I have to finish the designs on the Phoenix. I want it to look cool, so I'm very picky on how I'm going to design it. And I want it to be unique. This jet here can do everything, and I mean everything. Like there's nothing this jet can't do. Like every time you see it, it's probably going to be doing something different, and that's just like how overpowered I want it to be. But I got a lot of cool stuff that I want to do, and I really wanted to talk about this so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. And if my predictions are correct, I think Genius is going to be like the favorite character of like this episode, just because of like how unpredictable he is. And I say he's an asshole. I mean, there's no way to avoid that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the script. If I get something done, I'm going to probably just upload a clip just so you can see what it's going to be. Like this is going to be a pilot, so the first episode kind of has to have a lot in it. I feel I have to show off all the characters and have to do that in like 6 minutes. So that's going to be probably bad, I guess. I don't know. That first episode might be bad because I might be trying to do so much with it, or I just might, just have it focus on one character instead of trying to have it focus on everything all the time. But like I said, I've kind of got like 6 minutes and some change to work on it at 30 frames a second. So at 30 frames a second, that's well, I think it's 18,000 frames at 30 frames a second. No, it's 18,000 frames a minute at 30 frames a second. So yeah, a lot of drawing. Well, I hope you guys kind of like this little description here. I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, like, there's a lot here. I think about it all the time. The best thing that I'm gonna have to do is just animate it so you guys can see it. Like, this is really something that's really hard to talk about because it's super inconsistent. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace.